Hi everyone. Today's video is going to be discussing the concept of, or the thought of, if you can't curse, you can't heal. I know every so often there comes a time here in the YouTube community where this topic goes around, or in Facebook groups or social media. There's an idea that if you can't curse, you can't heal, and some people are adamantly against that idea. And some people will talk about why it makes no sense to them. But what I want to discuss my point of view on this, because I don't think I've ever really talked about it here on my channel. So this whole idea is really a paraphrase from the quote made by Z. Budapest, who is the founder of the Susan B. Anthony Coven. And the full quote is, "If you cannot hex, you cannot heal. If you cannot curse, you cannot cure." That is the full quote. So I'm going to share with you my opinion on this topic. We're going to start with the concept of magic, in case you're unfamiliar with my opinion of what it is. So in my belief, magic is a neutral energy. It can be compared to electricity. And like electricity, it holds no alignment of its own. It's neither constructive nor destructive, but can be utilized for both, depending on the purpose or the intent of the user. So electricity can be used within a hospital to power numerous machines that we humans have created in order to preserve life. But it also can be used to carry out the sentence of an inmate on death row. Magic can also be manipulated in this same manner for preserving life or for bringing forth death, for healing or harming, for nurturing or destroying, for benevolent intentions or for malicious ones. So the word hex dates back to the early 1800s and simply means to cast a spell or to bewitch someone or something. There's no distinctions made as to whether the hex was benevolent magic or whether it was malediction. For people of German descent, especially the Pennsylvania Dutch, hexing was seen as beneficial and protective in nature. But for the rest of the population, witchcraft was associated with malevolent magic, so the word hex took on negative connotations. This association has continued into our modern times. So when someone says hex, they generally means curse. So curses. To curse someone is to use words, gestures, and other magic to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something. Usually it's most often associated with feelings of anger, vengeance, justice, but these aren't always necessarily the only motivations. Personally, I've found that within many of the witch communities, both offline and online, the words hex and curse are frequently used interchangeably and both associated with bad or evil or harmful intentions. But like I said, this is not always the case. Without studying magic completely, without having a strong foundation of knowledge to pull from, the witch is left with a deficit, and that witch who does not understand how to curse will be left completely and utterly defenseless against those who would use magic to attack them. How can the witch effectively fight what he or she doesn't understand? A witch who refuses to learn how to work malediction will have an incomplete base of magical knowledge. And if he or she is afraid to explore the destructive side of magic, they are left unbalanced and less effective. So what does the quote mean? What does this quote by Z. Budapest mean? If you cannot hex, you cannot heal. If you cannot curse, you cannot cure. It simply means that a witch who does not have the knowledge or skill to hex or curse does not have the knowledge or skill to heal or cure. It doesn't imply that the witch should or needs to hex or curse, but that he or she possesses the knowledge and ability to do so. For the witch to come to the full realization and understanding of his or her own power and ability to wield it, It is necessary to understand the full spectrum of how magic can be used. This includes not only creating, but also destroying, attracting and banishing, loosening and binding, and healing and cursing. The witch needn't throw curses at others to understand how a curse would work, though I would argue that the actual experience will gain the witch greater understanding of his or her own magic. The concept of understanding hexes and curses in order to heal and cure really falls within the realm of the law of polarity, or the law of opposites, which states that everything in existence contains two mutually incompatible and exclusive parts or aspects that are equally essential and indispensable to the other. Any pattern of energetic data can be split into two patterns with opposing characteristics, which will contain the essence of the other within itself, creating harmony. These opposing patterns provide the constant motivation for movement and change. Hexing and healing, and cursing and curing are examples of these polarities or opposites within magic. The witch embraces power and owns it without fear, but with confidence. The witch possesses the knowledge and ability to travel to the depths of the underworld and understands how to deal with the entities that reside there. The witch has a familiarity and skill with hexing and cursing when necessary, without guilt or shame. This is the power of the witch. As always, I love you. Blessed be.